Hey guys, Mr. B XRP here, and welcome back. Today is April 1st of 2020. It's April Fool's Day, so don't fall victim to any stupid jokes or things that don't sound real, because they probably aren't. Which brings me to CoinMarketCap. So I think I have a good sense of humor. It's a little bit dry, but maybe I don't have a good sense of humor. I don't think it's funny that they put toilet paper token on their site. Especially if they were really offered $400 million by CZ Binance to buy it. So I think this is shameful and stupid. This is money we're talking about. There's no time for jokes here. And I hope CZ Binance lowers his offer for CoinMarketCap because they did something silly like that. I will never show CoinMarketCap again on my channel. If I do on accident, I want you guys to tell me to stop doing it, but I will never do it again. We are going to jump over to Coin Paprika. I just need to figure out how to make these numbers bigger because I can hardly see them. They're kind of tiny. But anyway, so Bitcoin at 62.70, Ethereum at 132, almost 131.90, and XRP is at 17 cents. So moving on. Okay, so this was from Michael at VAL Links. Australian university to offer blockchain courses after partnering with Ripple. So it looks like an Australian university is going to offer blockchain courses. They partnered up with Ripple to do it, which is really cool. Which reminds me, and if you guys want to look into that a little bit more, you can go to Michael's Twitter page and read up on it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it reminded me of something else I saw that was similar. Princeton is actually offering cryptocurrency courses for free online. So technically, you could go take a Princeton course and get out there and tell people you're Princeton educated on blockchain and Bitcoin, if you so choose to want to do that. I'm going to play this little video that tells you about the course. Listen to this.
There's a lot of excitement about Bitcoin. We hear about startups, investments, meetups, buying pizza with Bitcoins. It's going to change the world. It's going to make government obsolete. It's going to cure the common cold. Hi. I'm Arvind Narayan, and with my co-instructors Ed Felton, Joe Bonneau, and Andrew Miller, we're offering this course to clear up some of the confusion about what Bitcoin is and how it works. We'll help you cut through the hype and get to the core of what makes Bitcoin unique. To really understand what's special about Bitcoin, we need to understand how it works at a technical level. Bitcoin is a truly new technology, and we can only get so far by explaining it through simple analogies to past technologies. This course is for computer science students, developers, entrepreneurs, hobbyists, power users, and really anyone interested in cryptocurrency technology. In this series of 11 lectures, we'll address the important questions about Bitcoin. How does Bitcoin work? What makes Bitcoin different? How secure are your Bitcoins? How anonymous are Bitcoin users? What determines the price of Bitcoins? Can cryptocurrencies be regulated? What might the future hold? After this course, you'll know everything you need to know to separate fact from fiction when reading claims about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. You'll have the conceptual foundations that you need to engineer secure software that interacts with the Bitcoin network. And you'll be able to integrate ideas from Bitcoin into your own projects. We hope you'll join us.
So interesting stuff. I think this course actually started today. It actually starts today, but I'm sure there'll be other dates if anybody wants to take it. It might be interesting to do. If I have some time on my hands in the next couple of weeks, which I very well might, I might look to take it as well. So just thought you guys might be interested. Moving on. All right. So there were I had so many comments in my video yesterday. One of them was that my intro is too loud, so I'm going to lower it today 50%. You guys let me know if it's still too loud. And the other one was somebody asked me about the cost of transaction fees, and they said the question in my comments was, as the price of XRP goes up, will the cost of transactions also go up? So I put out the technical question. I said, technical question, how is the XRP transaction cost determined, and how does that cost change as the price rises? Appreciate anyone who knows the answer, and I tagged David Schwartz at Joel Katz on Twitter. He ended up jumping in, and let's find, okay, he said, non-XRP payments can have other kinds of fees, but pure XRP transactions have a load-based fee, typically 10 drops, which are millionths of an XRP, that is burnt. Things like multi-signing increase the required fee. Okay, so it's 10 drops. So as the price of XRP goes up, I assume it's going to continue to be 10 drops, unless of course they they get the node operators or the validators to decide to change that. So that's the answer to the question. To the person who asked me the question, I'm sorry I don't have your name here to give you credit for asking for the question. But let me tell you something. It was a great question. One of the things on Twitter is people are afraid to ask questions like this. I've been in this space almost 3 years. I honestly didn't truly understand it, and most people are afraid to ask a question like this because they don't want to look silly. I asked the question. I had 95 people like the fact that I asked the question, and a lot of these people are big people out on Twitter who really didn't understand it either. So you know what? No question is stupid. You got to ask these questions. The only way to learn. I'm learning every day. That's why I tell you guys I'm not an expert, because I'm learning new things every day. So I think it was a great question. This was interesting. This was a video. I don't think there's any sound to it, so I don't think the sound matters. But here's a video. This is how you transfer Bitcoin at the speed of light. So apparently, this gentleman who's on Twitter, and I'm going to follow him, and he's at Marone Bagalay, Myronebagalay. Apparently he's showing how you can send Bitcoin using the Sum app, which I downloaded and I started playing with yesterday, and it's instant fast. So apparently it must put the Bitcoin on the XRP ledger somehow, and move it very, very quickly, which is fantastic. Maybe this is better than the Bitcoin Lightning Network, and maybe the Bitcoin people might want to use this instead. At least this is up and running and ready to go, huh? That Lightning Network has been in the works for years. All right, so the real estate business, as you would expect with everything going on, has seized up, and lending has become nearly impossible. This gentleman, and if you're in the real estate business, you might, if you don't follow already, it's thenationalrealestatepost.com. They put out a video every morning. I've been watching it for over a decade. He's one of the contributors, and he does a great job explaining what the problem is in lending right now. So for anyone that's interested, I'm going to play just a short part of the video. I want you to hear why and how banks have frozen up the money and why they're not lending. And I want you to hear this from him. He does a great job.
Now this bundle of paper represents billions of dollars worth of loans. Each piece of paper is a loan attached to a family. For this analogy, we'll say there's several different loans in this bundle. It's not really how it works, but for the sake of the analogy, it does. This one's, say, FHA, and this one's jumbo, and this one's VA, and this one's conventional. Last month, all of this was worth $1 billion, but as the technical explanation said earlier, it's now worth 50% of that. Well, why, Ryan? Well, simply, this group of people decided to refinance with a different company, so they're gone. This group of people lost their job last week. They're in forbearance, not making payments, or even worse, possibly lost their home. So now what used to be worth $1 billion is worth, say, $500 million. Now, let's say I have several of these portfolios of loans. That's what all these reams of paper represent. Well, now this problem just got compounded that much worse. And just like when your house or your 401k loses value, your net worth goes down as well. So does the lender's net worth. And that's the big problem, because lenders, servicers, and banks have to lend money to stay in business, and their ability to do so is severely impacted when their net worth drops. They can't overextend themselves. There are certain provisions in place to ensure this. They were put in place after the last Great Recession, and we won't get into that right now. Okay, so back to the analogy. I just lost my you-know-what with these loans. So what do I do now? I mean, what would you guys do if you owned all these loans and just saw your net worth chopped in half? Well, some of you may go, you know what, Ryan, screw this, I'm out. The risk is just too high. I got burned, and I don't want to get burned again. Well, some lenders and banks and servicers are doing just that. Peace out. And you can't.
And the truth is, the majority of them are doing it. And the ones that aren't doing it are making it so hard to get lending right now that you really have to fall in a very, very special category. So for those that were interested, I just wanted to fill you in on that. It's very tough, and if you want to refinance, it's the same. But if you do want to refinance and you haven't had any problems with your employment, it still could be a good time to refinance. If your broker tells you that the rates are spiked right now, because what they do is they spike up the rates when they want to slow down the applications, tell the broker to call you the moment they dip down so they can lock your mortgage. So just a couple tips for you. All right, moving on. This is a video that I think everyone has seen, and it was originally posted by Stephen Bull from the DIEP at DIEP SANH on Twitter. He's a must follow. I'm going to play it again because I don't think we can see this enough, and I want you guys to see it. I'm going to hit it right now.
And not even specific to Ripple or to XRP's community. I think one of the things that will surprise us a year from now is that banks will be custodying digital assets directly. And I think right now we think about that and think, look, there's no way that's going to happen. They're too conservative. And I think what you...
So by the way, this was December 1st of 2018, right? So they might have missed the date. But if you don't think banks are going to custody digital assets directly, then you're really saying that this gentleman, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, is a liar. And I don't believe he's a liar. I think he's an exceptional CEO. So you've got to either believe that premise or not believe that premise. And if you don't believe that premise, I'm a little confused why somebody would be in this community. But you have to believe that, otherwise he wouldn't say it. Anyway, moving on.
Is two things happening. One is banks are seeing that a lot of money is being made by digital asset exchanges globally, and banks are profit motivated. The second, and as we've talked about it here, certainly Ross has made very clear, is regulatory clarity and regulatory frameworks enable banks and financial institutions to lean into these markets. And I think we will surprise ourselves by this time. But I'll also predict that it will be banks in the ASEAN markets where there is this regulatory clarity and there is a lot of progressive forward thinking. They'll be the first to actually allow for crypto assets custody in their accounts. All right, with that, we'll turn it over to questions. And I see a bunch of questions on this screen, which I can't really read from here, but we're supposed to pick some. Can you see those? Oh, there's 2 votes.
Let me try.
Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? Oh, they're over here. That's easier. You want to take one? Go for it. The first one's for you. IMF. Do you see IMF holding crypto assets in the future? I did not put that up there.
Remember, I'm from the legal department. I'm supposed to be very conservative about these things. I don't want to go into great details about
Maybe
the
I should take what the IMF is going to do.
look,
I think we stunned Ross into silence with that one.
For that to happen, okay, under the current legal framework, some country would have to use a crypto asset as its currency.
Well, I love that video. I think we all need to be reminded of that video and how uncomfortable Ross was when he was asked that question, and how giddy Brad was when he kind of brought it to Ross's attention. So love it, love it, love it. Can't get enough of that video. And I'm going to wrap up with this video because this is hilarious. Hang on.
You okay? What are you doing running? Is someone chasing you? You're just running a fun. 7 o'clock in the morning.
That was brought to us by Justine on Twitter. I thought that was hilarious. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. Kind of a slow news day. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a mortgage broker. And I'm not a crypto expert. Oh, listen to the long guy outside my window. It's like I'm the digital asset investor. I don't know if you can hear that or not. These are my opinions only. Don't make any financial decisions based on anything I say. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hey, please like and subscribe. And guys, I'm just a few away from 11,000. So if you don't mind subscribing, it's free today, by the way, to subscribe. So everyone who wants to subscribe, I've made it free today. And also hit the notifications button if you like, and share my videos with anybody who you think might like them as well. Have a fantastic day. Thank you.